Hi, I'm Mark Kramer, and I'd like to spend the next few minutes talking to you about a new approach to achieving social change that we call catalytic philanthropy. Let me start with an example. Tom Siebel, the founder of Siebel Systems, is a very unusual philanthropist. Siebel lives in Montana on a ranch, and a few years ago he became concerned about the level of meth abuse in the state. In fact, Montana was ranked 5th in the level of meth abuse in the country, and more than half of the people in prison were there because of meth-related crimes. Now, Siebel did not simply send off a check to a charity or even ask for an RFP to decide how to go about addressing this problem. Instead, he researched the issue. He found that meth was highly addictive, and so he decided to concentrate on preventing the first-time use by teenagers. Siebel then hired a world-class advertising agency and Hollywood talent to create a set of commercials that could reach teenagers in the state and persuade them not to try meth. He didn't just guess at what would work, he created focus groups of teenagers and tested different commercials on them, tweaking it and changing it until he found an approach that was effective. Then he saturated the airwaves. Over the first 2 years, Siebel bought 45,000 television ads. That's more than 60 ads every single day for 2 years. And he supplemented that by 35,000 radio ads and more than 1,000 billboards. He worked with school systems, he worked with government agencies, he worked with corporations, he worked with nonprofits to make this an issue that was at the top of everyone's mind. And over those 2 years, meth abuse among teenagers dropped by 45%, and among adults, it dropped by 72%. Now, why was Siebel such an effective philanthropist? What was the secret? Well, we found that Siebel was using the 4 elements of catalytic philanthropy that time and again we have seen enable funders to achieve measurable impact on significant scale social issues. Siebel did 4 different things. First, he took responsibility for solving the problem himself. He didn't delegate solutions to the nonprofit sector or wait for them to come to him with a proposal. Now, that doesn't mean that donors have all the answers. Of course they don't. But it does mean that donors can operate on a scale that most of our fragmented, underfunded nonprofits cannot. It means that donors can assemble the different elements of a solution that all have to work together to achieve impact in a way that individual nonprofits, each pursuing their own goals, cannot hope to achieve. The second thing that Siebel did is he mobilized a campaign for change. He didn't just pick one nonprofit organization and say, they have the answer, I'm going to fund them, nor did he simply try and scale them up so that they could affect the state as a whole. Instead, he engaged a broad cross-sector coalition and created the momentum that actually led to change on the issue he was trying to address. The third thing Siebel did is he used all available tools. He didn't just use the nonprofit sector traditional tools. He didn't use public service announcements, which he could have gotten for free. Instead, he bought primetime ads. He used the techniques and the medium that would achieve the impact he sought to achieve. And over the years at FSG, we have seen donors use all kinds of tools, their corporate resources, their personal clout and connection, their investment capital to invest in for-profit enterprises that help deliver the social impact they were looking for, even litigation to help achieve the change they wanted to achieve. Fourth, Siebel used actionable knowledge. He didn't just commission research and produce a dry academic report. He found a way to convey the information to his target audience in a way that was emotionally engaging, that actually got them to hear what he had to say and motivated them to change their behavior. These four elements, taking responsibility for the problem, mobilizing a campaign for change, using all available tools, and creating actionable knowledge, are the tools that we have come to believe lead to significant social impact. Now, these tools aren't right for everybody, and not everybody should be a catalytic philanthropist. Indeed, there are millions of people around the world whose lives are much better off today because donors have generously written checks and contributed to effective charities around the world. But let's not pretend that those contributions, as important as they may be, are actually resulting in long-lasting, measurable change on major social issues. Instead, it is the few catalytic philanthropists who have the time and the resources and the commitment to dedicate themselves to achieving social change and to using the tools of catalytic philanthropy who can really make a difference on the urgent social problems that we as a society and as a world face today. Thank you.